Welcome back, folks, once again to another episode of Coach's Corner, brought to you by our great friends at Central Hydraulics. Of course, the great hats we're wearing here today. I'm your host, Paul Vold, as we are joined with assistant coach, new to the team this year, but no stranger to the program. Mikey Lawrence joins us here. Mikey, thanks very much for coming on today.
Happy to be here.
Of course, we like to give everybody a chance to introduce themselves, especially being new to the program. But you're not new to the show, I should say, this program, but the show itself. Tell us, how did you come to Granite City? I know that you were a player beforehand, but ultimately, how'd you come back as being a coach?
Yep, I was drafted to Granite City in 2012, so I came here and played. DJ was actually still on the team then. I got to play with him. And then after my hockey career, went back to Michigan. Just moved back to St. Cloud last year. My girlfriend and she's from St. Cloud, so moved back here and mentioned to DJ about coaching a little bit, and here we are.
Yeah, here we are. Of course, a good start to the season for the Lumberjacks, coming off first road trip of the season. You go out of division with a 2-game weekend sweep against the Wisconsin Woodsmen. Did get off to a bit of a back and forth start, we'll say, that game on Friday over in Toma. A 6-5 overtime win as well. Looking back at that contest, I mean, a lot of things to really take from regulation, but overtime specifically we're looking at was really the fact that penalty in overtime against the Lumberjacks. You guys are able to kill that off, then really get the momentum there with a nice poke and turnover there from Thomas Gerum. Looking back at that contest overall, what did you really see that the Lumberjacks were able to come out with that win?
We have a lot of tenacity. We just stay after it. Wasn't our best game,
Right.
by any means, but we kept after it. We've never really got down on ourselves. The energy was still there, and luckily momentum just carried on into the overtime with the big kill and got out of there with a win.
Yeah, that was certainly a big effort and a good win too. But also one thing that the team really struggled with, at least at the start of this past season last year, was getting the power play going, able to put in a couple of power play goals in that contest Friday. I'm sure that had to feel nice for the coaching staff and for the team to get off the schneid early.
Yep. Got a couple on the power play. We've worked on it a little bit here and there in practice, and it's when you have the amount of skill that we have, you never think the power play is going to be an issue, and I don't think that it's an issue right now. You don't expect to score in every single power play, but it can definitely be better.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of things to carry over from that game on Friday. The diversity of scoring leading into a much tighter contest that we saw on Saturday as well. Again, a very back and forth kind of start a little bit. They score, we score, kind of back and forth. But ended up being a 3-2 victory in regulation after another fast start. What really kind of led to the Lumberjacks kind of really settling into that contest against the Woodsmen second time around?
I don't know if we ever really got our feet going on Saturday. It was close because we allowed it to be close. But again, we'll take a win anytime we can get them.
Yeah, and I'm sure a big difference in that contest too, seeing a team second time around, but also the fact that you throw in a different goaltender as well. Nick Hansen second time around too. He made some big saves. Obviously, they made a couple of plays too to get in a couple, but obviously there was a good effort from the goaltending too.
Yep, goaltending's huge. I mean, we're undefeated for a reason. We can keep the pucks out of our net. So, no, Hansen played great. It's nice when you got 4 goaltenders that you can just look at and, all right, who do we want to go tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. And we look at, of course, we're going to skip over our rapid fire questions for the new guy, let him get settled in and comfortable. But looking at, of course, now you're back at home, just a 1-game weekend yet again, this time on Friday. Of course, you start a day earlier, given the fact the first couple home games were obviously on Saturdays. But welcome in a new team as well, the Minnesota Moose. What's really been a big focus here at the start of the week here with practice?
We're just going to go over some film this week. We're probably going to watch an entire game from the weekend. We got to button some things up. Our defensive zone has been kind of sloppy. So get all that dialed in. Yeah, with a new team, we don't have anything on them really. And we're just going to approach it same way we do with everything else, get the boys ready throughout the week, and then Friday, game time.
Yep, Friday it will be 7:30 puck drop right here from Miller Buick GMC Arena. The undefeated Granite City Lumberjacks take on the Minnesota Moose right here Friday night. And of course, you can always stay up to date with everything going on with your Lumberjacks through our various social media channels by going to lumberjackshockey.com. Also check out the full schedule, NA3HL Of course, Coach's Corner here this week, brought to you by Central Hydraulics. I am your host, Paul Vold, joined alongside with assistant coach Mikey Lawrence. We'll stick here for a break. Coming up, we'll have our players' interviews coming your way next. Welcome back here to Coach's Corner this week as we're kind of bumping things up. Of course, thanks to our friends at Central Hydraulics with our players interviews. We've got a couple of players in with us here this week. Got number 36 for your Granite City Lumberjacks, Thomas Gerum. Number 9 for your Granite City Lumberjacks, Justin Lesser also joins us. Fellas, thanks so much for joining us here today.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It's awesome to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll start things off like we do here. Gerum, we'll give you that here to start off. Just talking about where you're from. And how long have you been playing hockey?
I'm from Wausau, Wisconsin. I started playing hockey at about 3rd, 4th grade. Had an older kid come up to me. He's like, hey, we're having try hockey for free, and fell in love with it ever since.
Yeah, and what kind of attracted you to come here to Granite City?
Obviously, had heard from Bob, and then just talking to the coaches, talking with everybody around. Everybody kind of knew what they were doing, knew what they were talking about, and then came, skated, loved the organization, and then obviously that year we win the Fraser Cup, and that just kind of sealed the deal, and was really happy to be a part of the organization.
Yeah, a great way to make that connection, and we'll talk about here. We'll get Les on here in just a second to talking about, of course, Les. Well, why don't you talk about just introduce yourself? How long have you been playing hockey?
I'm Justin Lesser. I'm number 9. I'm from Wayzata, Minnesota, and I've been playing hockey since I was a little kid. Just started on the pond with my uncle and my dad. That's how I got started.
Yeah, and what led you to come here to Granite City?
Yeah, I knew Finn Greeley beforehand, and I knew it was a great organization because I saw they had won the Fraser Cup that year as well. So just no doubter to come here.
Yeah, always great to have those connections here with the program. Talking about with now a 2-game weekend sweep for the Lumberjacks over the Wisconsin Woodsmen over the weekend. This guy right here had a big part in that victory as well. 6-5 overtime victory too. You know, a very back and forth contest too. You obviously get the overtime winner too. Let's talk about that goal, the winning in overtime. Obviously, a good defensive step there, killing off the penalty beforehand, but then getting that turnover, then leading to the goal scored. What did you really see there to kind of really develop from the moment you stepped on the ice to when you put it in the back of the net?
I just seen they're going man on man, and they're giving a lot more space. It's 3-on-3, so you have whole ice to work with, and it's an Olympic sheet, so there's just more room. And off my shin pad, and I immediately knew I had the kid beat. I had the 3 steps on him, and throughout the game, I'd kind of noticed the goalie was a bit aggressive, a bit of a slider, and he wanted to anticipate plays. So I knew if I went outside my body and came back, I was going to have a wide open net.
And I'm sure it also had to feel good too. A very good start for the season for the team now, still being undefeated, getting that first road win. But you especially too, getting one of the early goals of the season for you. Been battling a little bit. Last weekend might have had one taken away from you with the play that happened over this past weekend. But I'm sure it was a nice one to get the weekend started there.
Absolutely, yeah. It feels good to get that first one under the belt for the season, and after that, we were able to just keep it rolling, get the 3-2 win on Saturday, and just keep moving as a team and looking forward to Friday.
Yeah, speaking of that 3-2 victory, Les, want to talk to you about that one. Much different contest from the game on Friday. It was very back and forth start, at least for that Saturday game, but things kind of really settled in. What did you really see as kind of a big difference from that Friday contest into Saturday for both teams?
Yeah, I think the whole team knew we had to be better that Saturday game. We didn't think we brought it out that Friday game, but it was a good test for us, first road games of the year, and it's hard to beat a home team twice on the road, so.
That it is. And how'd you feel, at least from the defensive perspective, because we've seen a few times, at least to start the season too, team gets up ahead, maybe the opposing team kind of crawls back a little bit, then really start to lock things down defensively. From the defensive perspective, how'd you feel the team really performed here over the weekend?
Yeah, I think it was a big step up on that Saturday game to be able to lock them down in that third period and not let it become a track meet again, because we knew we have to improve defensively, so that was big for us.
Of course, the Minnesota Moose make their way to town coming up here this weekend. First time we're actually see the Moose as a new program and also a new divisional foe too. I know that we pulled you guys away from film to try to get a little bit of a head start of what to expect. What have you really been a kind of a big focus here for the team to start off with you, Les?
Just keep on the same track. You know, the defensively we have to be better and just stand strong in the bodies and stuff like that.
Gerum, what do you really see as kind of a big focal point here for, at least for the forward side of things, to really continue to push the pace?
I think for us, it's been just selling out on the forecheck. I mean, we just got to be hard on the bodies, and like we saw on Saturday and Friday, if we're hard on bodies, we can score at will, and we can be an offensive team that really commands games.
Of course, the Lumberjacks do welcome in the Minnesota Moose coming up here Friday. It will be a 7:30 puck drop right here from Miller Buick GMC Arena. Now we get to the fun part. Serious stuff is out of the way. Now we get to loosen up a little bit with some rapid fire questions. You guys ready for this?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to start off here. What is kind of the go-to pre-game routine? Is there anything that you do to kind of really get into that right mindset? Gerum, start with you.
When we're at home, we've been going to breakfast. Small groups we've been going to Copper Lantern or the one. It starts with a B. I can't remember which one it is, but we went to it the first week, and then last week we went to Copper Lantern, get a nap in, and then just get ready for the game.
Les, what's kind of the go-to for you?
Just try to get up and get the legs moving in the morning, and then just usually get Jimmy John's on the way to the rink if it's a home game.
That kind of leads into my next question, the pre-game meal. So you usually go with Jimmy John's for you, Les?
Yep, Jimmy John's is the go-to.
All right. I know you went with the breakfast. Anything right before, maybe lunch, late snack afternoon?
Late. I'm a big snacker guy, so I like to get the sugar in me, get the energy flowing, and then besides that, I just kind of fly high off breakfast, keep a light stomach, and allows me to move faster.
I like that. Red or white? Which sweater do you prefer here with Granite City?
I like the red. The red is classic. It looks good with the new gloves that we have, but even with the red gloves, I like the red with the blue pant covers.
I like that. Les, red or white?
I'm going to have to go white.
All right, I like it. Stark contrast. I like it. Favorite away rink that you guys have played at here with Granite City?
Probably Alexandria. I've heard that a lot, but
I like that. I like that. Gerum?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Alexandria, too. It's just fans get rowdy in there, and it's always fun to win there.
All right, now we're going to start throwing a few teammates under the bus here. It's my favorite part of the show. Who's got the best and worst goal celebration? I know, Gerum, you've had a few over the years that have been, we'll say good. We'll say good. Who's got the best and worst goal celebration you've seen?
I think this year so far, the best one I've seen has been, I'm going to have to go with Lesser's. It was just a classic jumping in the boards and nothing else to it.
All right, who's got the worst, though, that you've seen? Could be current, could be maybe from the last couple years or so. Who do you see has had the worst?
Oh,
Maybe even in practice too. I don't know.
He's gonna eat this one alive, but I'm gonna have to go with Lepisto's, the monkey off the back, and then the big old kick. It was good for him to get the monkey off the back, and then he let everybody know that he got the monkey off his back.
I like it. I like it. Les, who's got the best and worst goal, Selly?
I'm going to say the best is Alderson. He might not bring it out during the games, but practice, I see some good ones.
All right.
And
Who's got the worst?
Worst would probably be Seth.
I like it. I like it. All right. So who's got the best and worst car out of the whole team?
Ooh. I'm going to say Whitey has the best car. His Jeep is pretty cool.
Nice.
Worst car. I'm going to go Cole Sieben.
All right. I like that. Gerum, who do you got for best and worst car?
Best car is Parker Comstocks. He's got that, I think it's an 02 Chevy, and that thing is nice. Barely any rust on it, and I like it.
Nice. Who's got the worst car?
Again, worst car is going to have to be Sieben. I know he brought it up for gas mileage, and it's got good gas mileage, but she got some blemishes on her for sure.
All right. We go now here with who's got the best and worst style on the team. Pre-game fit, who's got the best and worst out of it?
Best pregame fit I've seen has been Tegan Dodge. He's come with a three-piece suit. He even had the little vest on underneath, and that looked good. Worst? I don't even know. I think everybody's been pretty well dressed. I haven't seen one that's been really bad yet. So
Anything different other than Tegan Dodge there, Les, for best and worst style?
Nope, but I got a worse one. I'm gonna have to say Danny with the socks. He's gotta have some socks on underneath and pull those pants down a little bit.
All right, we're going to take it back here just a moment as well. We're talking about here now, finishing off here, personal goals for the season. What do you guys really want to accomplish here, another season with Granite City?
I think just taking every game, one game at a time, win every game, get as many points as possible, and try to make the playoffs and get a high seed and just go from there.
Perfect. Gerum, how about for you, personal goals?
I'd love to have a successful season for the team. I'm looking. We've got a different group here, and we've got a group that can make a push for the Fraser Cup, and I think everybody in the room believes it. It's just we got to iron out every game, and every game's worth 2 points, and we got to win those 2 points.
Granite City Lumberjacks back in action Friday right at Miller Buick at GMC Arena. You'll probably see these two guys in action. Thomas Gerum, Justin Lesser, of course, Lumberjacks welcome in the Minnesota Moose. 7:30 puck drop. Again, you can check it all out. lumberjackshockey.com, na3hl.com, and our various social media platforms. This is Coach's Corner, brought to you by Central Hydraulics. We'll see you all next week.